Now at 10, this is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
A heartbroken family is coming together to mourn the loss of a young mother and her infant son taken by gun violence in the city of Hartford. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Brent Harden.
And I'm Sarah Sanchez. It's been 1 week since 20-year-old Josiah Mercado and her little boy, Messiah Diaz, were shot and killed. The two were sitting in a car on New Britain Avenue when they were shot at. The suspect was in another car. Police say he fired numerous times, killing the mother and her 4-month-old baby boy. Another person in the vehicle was hurt.
Hartford police and the U.S. Marshals went far to find their suspect. Their investigation taking them all the way to Puerto Rico, where authorities learned the suspect had traveled. 4 days after the double shooting, the U.S. Marshals took Lance Morales into custody on the island, and he is awaiting extradition back to Connecticut now, where he will face numerous charges, including 2 counts of murder. Back in Hartford, family members and loved ones of Mercado and her baby are still grieving.
Fox 61's Kay Pattyfoot shares some of the emotions coming from their loved ones.
A family is in mourning after a double homicide took the life of a young mother and her 4-month-old baby. The family of Josiah Mercado, joined with Mothers United Against Violence, held a vigil in Tuesday night to mourn and uplift each other.
There's a evil spirit in Hartford. And this spirit been running rampant in Hartford for years.
Another family tragically torn apart by gun violence in Hartford. 20-year-old Josiah Mercado and her 4-month-old baby were shot and killed last Tuesday.
And after that, if anybody from the family want to say something, you're more than welcome to say anything.
Now her loved ones and the community are coming together during this difficult time, even calling out what's wrong in the city.
No kids don't got no guidance, and that's what happens, man. Kids don't got no guidance. We talk about it and be about it.
Mothers United Against Violence helped organize Tuesday's vigil in honor of Mercado and her baby boy.
But right now, these babies are hurting, that family is hurting, and so many of us are hurting. Some of us didn't come out tonight, but there's so many people that are devastated by this loss. 23-year-old Lance Morales was arrested in Puerto Rico on Saturday by members of the U.S. Marshals Violent Fugitive Task Force. While justice is served, it won't bring Josiah or her baby boy Messiah back. At the vigil, family members embraced each other, left stuffed animals and candles at the memorial. Mercado's grandfather led the group in a prayer. And the message couldn't be more clear. Young people need to end the violence in the city. Reverend Brown and Mercado's family called on the city of Hartford to do better and to put the guns down so no family has to continue experiencing this kind of pain. In Hartford, Kay Pattyfoot, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Kay, thank you. We are following breaking news from Plymouth now, where police are investigating a deadly crash involving several vehicles, including a DOT truck. The crash happened around 3:30 at the intersection of Route 72 and Bemis Street. Police say a woman in one of the vehicles died at the scene. We haven't heard of any other injuries from this crash. That area has been closed for several hours and remains closed right now. As a matter of fact, there's no word on when it might reopen. All right, turning now to the weather, and we're looking at a rainy Thanksgiving Day, but a lot of us are looking at what the weather holds while we're traveling for the holiday.
Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank for a first look at the forecast. Rachel, it's really foggy out there tonight.
It is foggy. The good news is that fog should lift as we head throughout the next couple of hours or so it should not be an issue for the morning commute tomorrow. If you are traveling at all during the day tomorrow, and that's one of the biggest travel days right before Thanksgiving, we are looking at dry roads, so you have to battle the other drivers out there, but at least the weather won't make things harder for you. And then it is wet on Thursday. We're looking at temperatures right around 40 degrees. It'll be kind of raw and breezy too. Here's a look at that visibility. Sarah was talking about that fog. It's about a quarter mile right now, Meriden and Hartford. So it's kind of stuck in some of the valley locations. But again, I do think that we see improvement as we head through the next couple of hours or so. 29 right now in Windham, but 46 in Bridgeport. So big range in temperatures, but I think most of us are in the 30s as we head towards daybreak tomorrow. Tomorrow we're seeing partly cloudy skies, wishing you all safe travels if we don't get to see you. Highs will be up around 50 degrees as we head through the afternoon, and we're dry right through tomorrow night before that rain develops on your Thanksgiving, and it will develop right around, if not just before daybreak, and continue right through the day. We're going to talk about how much, plus your return home plans after Thanksgiving, coming up in just a bit.
Well, Rachel, thank you. As the state faces a slew of nursing home closures and healthcare sector layoffs, Fox 61 wanted to take a deeper dive into what's quickly becoming a crisis of long-term care across Connecticut.
Fox 61's Matt Caron discovered the industry is facing increasing financial pressures and lingering headwinds from the COVID pandemic.
Well, nobody likes to think about aging, but Father Time is undefeated. And the reality is 1 out of every 3 Connecticut residents will need to spend some time in a skilled nursing facility. These red dots represent facilities that have closed since 2021. The trend has not slowed down, and we wanted to know why. Connecticut has the 5th oldest population, so it's concerning that nursing home closures have outpaced the rest of the country. Since 2021, 15 skilled nursing facilities have closed. Just last week, Sheridan Woods and Countryside Manor in Bristol filed for closure. 87% of the nursing home beds in Connecticut are occupied. That's above the national average. Each closure brings us closer to capacity. It stresses the system and the quality of care. A new study found 99% of the nearly 200 nursing homes in Connecticut have at least one deficiency. In October, the feds essentially forced the closure of Abbott Terrace in Waterbury, citing the facility failed to meet minimum health and safety standards. Meanwhile, the industry continues to struggle to recover from the COVID pandemic. Just 2 years ago, Athena Healthcare was the largest nursing home operator in this state. Now only 6 homes remain. The company told Fox 61 it is evaluating options to support continued operation. Operator Athena cites a high Medicaid population, staffing challenges, the age of the facilities, and rising operational costs as reasons for closure.
Some buildings are not found to be viable because it's very expensive for other owners to come in. And if they're bought, the owner coming in needs to bring it up to current public health code, which can also be very costly.
There's a real serious question on the horizon about whether or not there are enough nursing home beds now and into the future to meet the care needs of our exploding aging population.
State lawmakers tell me they'll be making nursing homes a priority next session with legislation. As for the 2 Bristol nursing homes facing closure, DSS told me they're in a 10-day cooling off period where they take no action. That'll be followed by a public hearing, and then they have up to 180 days to make a final decision. In the studio, Matt Caron, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
All right, Matt, thank you. To international news now, and a ceasefire agreement is now in effect between Israel and Lebanon's Iran-backed Hezbollah group. The deal comes after nearly a year of fighting, which started after Hamas's October 7th attacks in Israel. But the truce doesn't address the ongoing war in Gaza with Hamas.
While the West is hailing the deal as a victory tonight in a path towards peace in the Middle East, people in the region are far more distrustful. Jeff Paul has the story.
Mixed reactions in Lebanon after Israel approved a U.S.-brokered ceasefire agreement with the Iran-backed militant group Hezbollah. While some celebrated and welcomed the news,
we are happy because we will return to our country and homeland in the south.
Others were more distrustful, especially as Israeli airstrikes continued bombarding Hezbollah targets in Beirut. The IDF even issuing evacuation orders for the city just moments after the ceasefire was approved.
I don't believe it. The ceasefire. Israel can't be trusted. I don't believe it.
Similar reactions in Israel, where many still fear Hezbollah could continue attacking the northern border.
It is still not safe to return to our homes because Hezbollah is still close to us and any missile can do damage.
Under the deal, the IDF must withdraw from Lebanon and Hezbollah has to move farther north. Lebanon's army will then create a buffer near the border along with UN peacekeepers. But it remains to be seen if the deal can really end nearly 14 months of fighting.
Let me be clear. If Hezbollah or anyone else breaks the deal and poses a direct threat to Israel, then Israel retains the right to self-defense.
President Biden has hailed the truce as good news. He's also vowing to renew efforts for a ceasefire in Gaza, where Hamas still holds more than 100 hostages.
Just as the Lebanese people deserve a future of security and prosperity, so do the people of Gaza.
Both sides will have 2 months to carry out the terms of the ceasefire agreement. Jeff Paul, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
New at 10 tonight, volunteer firefighters rescued 2 people from a sinking boat in Clinton. Firefighters say the vessel lost power and drifted toward Kelsey Point breakwall and started taking on water. Firefighters were able to rescue the 2 people on board and get the vessel out of the water before it sank. Fortunately, no one was hurt.
An update tonight on stolen pandemic relief funds. The mayor of West Haven says the city's getting over $1 million of stolen funds back, all thanks to insurance reimbursement. $1.2 million were stolen 3 years ago by former city employees. Former state representative Michael DeMassa is currently serving a 27-month sentence for his part in the case, while former city employee John Bernardo already served a 13-month sentence. West Haven Mayor Dorinda Borer says getting these funds back is a huge victory for her city.
We have gotten restitution here at the city for $79,000 to date. That was mostly John Bernardo paid his restitution back, and we had a $100,000 deductible. So at the end of the day, we will be getting a check for $1,037,363.82.
The mayor says the city will be receiving that money within the next few months.